I've spent the last 13 years of my life owning and operating a cleaning company, and I have seen the best and the worst of cleaning. And let me tell you, there is definitely a hierarchy in the cleaning world of jobs that people like to do and jobs that people can't stand doing. And we know this because when we get to a home that hasn't been maintained in a while, we can tell immediately what has and has not been done. So in this video, I'm gonna illuminate 7 of the nastiest cleaning jobs that people can't stand doing. And I'm gonna show you how the pros do it. And I'm gonna show you how to do it so that it's easy-ish and not as gross as you might think. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel and give this video a thumbs up if you'd like to have someone come over and do those nasty cleaning jobs for you. Sometimes in relationships, there are those defining moments where you really know that the other person in the relationship loves you. Now, here is one of those defining moments for Chad and I. Back in the day when we first started dating and he was all like romantic and stuff, he came over to a new condo that my sister and I, well, it wasn't new, but it was new for us, my sister and I had purchased. And the bathroom that I ended up getting was not draining well. The sink and the shower, neither of them were draining properly. So I would stand in the shower or wash my face, whatever, and water would just build up. So you'd stand in a few inches of water, or the sink would have like water, and then after it drained, you would get this like nasty film left behind. So Chad, being the wonderful boyfriend that he was, and now husband, like good on him, he went in there, he rolled up his sleeves, and he dealt with the issue. And let me tell you, like a slimy, disgusting wig came out of each of those drains. It was, I couldn't, it was so gross. I still have visions of how gross it was. So that cleaning job, let me tell you, is probably one of the nastiest, but it's a really important one because if your bathroom sink and your shower, your tub aren't draining properly, it's not good for anybody. Plus you can get odors, that hair traps bacteria over time. The whole thing is kind of gross. So if you have the stomach for it, you can fix it, or if you know someone who has the stomach for it and owes you a solid, have them do it for you. But here's what you can do. You can grab a pair of needle nose pliers. I would also suggest gloving up, and if you're really sensitive to odors, you can wear a mask too. Have a wad of paper towels and a plastic bag by you. You can use the needle nose pliers to go in and start pulling out some of the clogs. If you have something that goes a little bit deeper, you can pick up a product at a big box store, something like a drain weasel or something along those lines. It's essentially like a long bendy mascara wand. You put them down the drain, you wind them up, and they basically pull the clog out, and then you can get rid of the clog. Super effective, and honestly, once that job is done, your drains work like they're brand new. So it is worth the time and the stomach investment. When we're doing an initial cleaning at a new client's home, one of the first things that we do in their living room is we remove the sofa cushions because it really illuminates the kind of work that we have at hand. Now, we've seen everything under the sofa cushions, from half-eaten sandwiches to remote controls, socks, toenail clippings, other things that come from your body and the outer world. It's just madness under there, okay? And the reason that happens is because it's one of those forgotten places, you know, you don't really think about it, you eat some chips, they fall out of sight, out of mind, right? No, over time, things can really build up. It can lead to odors, bugs can get in there, it can stain permanently the upholstery or the leather. So it really is important to keep up with that stuff over time. And thankfully, it's a pretty simple job. You're gonna remove your cushions first and foremost. You can put them off in an area where you will clean later. Next, you wanna visually inspect the base of the cushion and remove any large pieces of debris. Then you can use the brush attachment of your vacuum to get the larger areas, and you can use the crevice tool to get that little area in between where the base or the foundation of the cushion meets the finished part, the armrest of the cushion. And then you can give the areas where the foundation is, if you have leather or if you have upholstery, you can give those a quick wipe down. Once that's done, you can flip the cushions of your sofa over so it exposes the unfinished part, and you can vacuum those as well, because what I found over time is that things stick to the bottom. So to get it really clean, you're gonna vacuum the bottom of the foundation, and then you're gonna vacuum the bottom of the cushion so that when you actually put it back on, it is super clean. And I'd love to know in the comments down below, what is the craziest thing that you guys have found under your sofa cushions? Money, jewelry, an engagement ring, a hamburger? What's been in there? I'm curious. Now, I'm not an entomologist, and I don't know if this is a scientific fact, but it's a cleaning fact. Bugs love light fixtures, and they land there, and that is their final resting place. And then, of course, we turn our lights on, and we see a bug graveyard in our light fixture. So this is kind of a gross cleaning job that has to happen. Thankfully, not too frequently, but if you want your light fixtures to be clean and clear, it should be something that you tackle about once a year. Now, the good thing is this is, again, a pretty easy job as long as you have the stomach for it. And if you're a little squeamish around bugs, you can pull in a favor from someone who's not as squeamish as you are. It's a simple thing to do. You're gonna remove the light fixture. It's also a great time to change your light bulbs, especially if it's an outdoor space. This is something, again, if you do once a year, you can really stay on top of things. You would just simply take the light fixture, give it a good dump out. You can tap it. You can give it a rinse too, just with a hose and let it dry in the sun. Other things you can do, you can give it a rinse in your kitchen sink and put it on the top rack of your dishwasher if it's a glass fixture. You want to just make sure that it's dishwasher safe, so it wouldn't be frosted glass or something that's super delicate, but a lot of light fixtures, you'd be surprised, are actually machine washable. When we go to a client's home, we use their cleaning tools, so we've seen a lot of vacuums in our days. And let me tell you, people do not care about their vacuums, they neglect them. So when the cleaning staff gets there, there's a little bit of a cleaning job ahead of a cleaning job. And maintaining and cleaning your vacuum is important because if you don't like dust and hair and dirt flying around your house, you really need your vacuum to work properly. And I will say this, we do have a video on how to clean your vacuum, and I will link that for you down below. But I'm gonna give you a few pointers on how you can best maintain your vacuum and contain the dust that is already contained in your vacuum so that when you're changing things out, it doesn't explode in your face. First and foremost, it's really important to keep your vacuum tools clean. So we're talking your brushes, your crevice tools, and the power head. So that's job number one. For your tools, you can just clean those in hot soapy water and make sure that they air dry really well before using them again. You never want to get moisture in your vacuum. But then of course, the most important thing to maintain in your vacuum is either the bag, making sure that you change that frequently, or the canister. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. When you're emptying that canister or that bag, if you can, if the weather permits, you want to do it outside. Next, when we empty a vacuum container, we always do it in a garbage bag, and we try to enclose the canister or the bag in the garbage bag to minimize dust spray. The final thing you can do when you're removing the vacuum canister to avoid that nasty dust spray is you can have a little piece of duct tape at the ready. You can seal the hole where the vacuum meets the canister, and what that will do is prevent or minimize any of that dust from spraying out when you're changing or emptying your canister or your bag. Garbage cans obviously are going to get smelly if they're not maintained, and most importantly, if they're not changed on a regular basis. Now, it sounds really obvious, but I'm gonna give you guys a few little extra pointers about cleaning out that garbage can because it is one of the more nasty places that I've seen in homes. Now, the ones that are in bathrooms, like the waste baskets, those ones aren't nearly as bad as the kitchen. I have to say those ones are the worst. Now, the kitchen one could also mean your compost bin. So I have a few little pointers and tips for you that will help. The first one, this one sounds super obvious, but I need to say it anyway because it's important. Make sure that you're using a bag that properly fits your garbage can. If you're not, you'll notice the bag sags or it falls, and then you're gonna get garbage falling through the crack, and then you're gonna have to fish out that garbage later. Like, why would you put yourself through that? The next thing to make sure that you're doing is to clean your garbage can on a regular basis. That is really gonna help with odors. Now, we've talked about doing this with baking soda and borax. We've got videos for that. I'll link them for you down below. If you notice that odors are prevalent, you can use an enzyme cleaner. So if baking soda, borax aren't cutting it, an enzyme cleaner, something that you would use to deal with cat or dog feces or vomit, will also help get rid of those odor-causing bacteria that live in your garbage or your compost bin. Now, the final thing that you can do, because another thing that people complain about with garbage are the fruit flies. Now, obviously, changing your garbage on a regular basis is going to help with that, but sometimes they're so pesky, it doesn't matter what you do, they're still there. Well, fruit flies hate tea tree oil. So what you can do is when you change out your garbage, you can apply some tea tree oil to the top of your garbage can lid, the area around the rim, and you can put a couple of drops in the bag itself. The fruit flies will smell this and they're gonna peace out. I'd have to say one of the most forgotten, ergo one of the nastiest cleaning jobs, is cleaning underneath and behind the fridge. And that perhaps is second only to the oven, but we just talked about the oven, so I'm not going there today. I need to talk about the fridge. And if you can't see in the shot, my fridge is right beside me over here. Now we just moved in, so this happened not too long ago, but cleaning underneath and behind your fridge is something that you should be doing once a year. Sounds like a lot of work. Really, it's not too bad. The most important thing is that when you pull out the fridge, you do it carefully so that you don't ruin your floor. Sometimes your fridge is on wheels, so it's a little easier. Other times, not so much. So you just need to be careful that you're not scratching your floor. So do it carefully. I kind of shimmy the fridge a little bit because it doesn't always pull straight out. And one of the most important things is the grate at the back of your fridge, where it is essentially an air intake spot. Can get really dusty and hairy if you have pets over time. So when you're cleaning out the area behind your fridge, make sure that you have your vacuum with a brush attachment and you give that area a quick clean to keep your fridge working the way it should be. Of course, you can use baking soda and vinegar to clean your dishwasher. We've all been there, we all know about that. But there are some special areas in the dishwasher that are often neglected that need some attention. And the other thing to remember about a dishwasher is the way it works. You take your dirty dishes, you put them in there, hot water and detergent splash around, and then there's a little drain at the bottom, much like your sink, that traps large pieces of debris and lets others go through into a filtration and a drain system. So most of the time it's fine, but sometimes, like your sink, things get stuck in that filter. And over time, if that filter is not cleaned and you notice that your dishes start to come out and they don't look as good as they used to, it's because there is food and stuff trapped in that filter. First of all, figure out where that filter is. If you don't know where it is, because it's different on every dishwasher, go online and check your manufacturer's website. It'll tell you exactly where that filter is. It's generally pretty easy to remove. You're gonna fill a sink with hot soapy water, throw the filter in there and let it sit for even 20 minutes or so. Then you can give it a scrub with a cleaning toothbrush or a dish and sink brush and some soapy water. Give it a good rinse and let it dry. That's all that has to happen. Other areas to pay attention to is the frame of the dishwasher and the door of the dishwasher. So all you have to do is apply some all-purpose cleaner to that area, let it sit for a few minutes, scrub it off with a cleaning toothbrush, and you're good to go. And that leads me to this week's comment question, which is, what is the grossest spot in your home? I've come up with 7 of the grossest ones that I've seen in aggregate over the years, but perhaps you have a special little area in your home that I haven't thought of. So please let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know, because I'm thinking this could be interesting. Would you like to see a clean like a pro video version of the dishwasher? Happy to do that as well. Let me know in the comments. I've been really touched and blown away by the amount of DMs and comments and emails that I've been receiving from people who are interested in learning more about my upcoming online course. I'm excited to announce that I am launching a free 4-part online training for people who are interested in learning more about starting their own cleaning business. If you've ever daydreamed about being your own boss or getting out of the daily grind and starting something new, this might be the perfect opportunity for you, which is exactly why I'm offering this free online training. In this free 4-part online training that I'm offering, you're going to learn a lot. You'll learn why the cleaning business is probably the best first business that you could start. You'll learn how to get your first paying customers and a simple, usable pricing structure. You'll learn how to create a cleaning business even as a side hustle, and so many more things that I put into my business, Clean My Space. The training is absolutely free, but it is only available for a limited time, and the first class starts on February 15th. So if you're interested in registering, you can click the link in the description box, or you can sign up at thedecisionmaker.com. If you want to see what we're up to during the rest of the week, you can follow along on Instagram. I'm at Melissa Maker, Chad is at the Chad Reynolds, and the two of us are at Clean My Space. Here are a couple of other videos I think you're going to love, and if you want to learn more about Maker's Clean microfiber cloths, you can click this button right over here. There is a button down there that lets me know you care, so click it if you liked this video, and click this button right here to subscribe and begin your journey to a cleaner life. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.